So now that you have all of 6 of those warm colored twists attached onto your background so they can't get lost, we are going to do one more thing to these twists before we start the cool colored ones. Now, before we do this, I need you to reflect back onto something that you have seen in my classroom 10,000 times before. This. Do you remember? The frenemies. Of course, now, we discussed this in class, we'll call them by their proper name, the complementary colors. These, as you remember, are the colors on the color wheel that fall directly across from each other. So, red is directly across from green, making it a complementary pair. Pair means 2. Same for purple and yellow, same for orange and blue. And so all of these 6 twists are going to be decorated. Yes, you get to do a little bit more painting. We are going to decorate these twists with their complementary color. Red will be painting on some little bits of green. Orange will be painting on some little bits of blue. Yellow will be painting on some little bits of purple. But what about the intermediate colors? They have complements too. Let's take a look. So here we have a 12-hue color wheel. Now we already know that the complementary color of red is green. Complementary means right across the color wheel, as you can see by this black line. We also know that the complementary color of orange is blue, and the complementary color of yellow is violet. However, what you might not know is the intermediate complementary colors. So let's start with red-violet and see what is directly across the color wheel from red-violet. There it is, yellow-green. So red-violet and yellow-green are frenemies, or complementary colors, meaning if you mix them together, you would get a very disgusting color of bleh. How about red-orange? Red-orange, frenemies with blue-green, straight across the color wheel. And finally, yellow-orange is complementary colors with blue-violet. So there you have it, all of the complementary colors. But here's a question. If I have an intermediate color, and I don't have a color wheel to see what color is directly across the way from it, how would I figure out what the complementary color of red-orange is? Well, first, let's remember what we know about those complementary pairs, the frenemies that we've been looking at for years in our classroom. You probably know those by memory already. So, if I take just one color from red-orange, let's start with red. I know that the complementary color to red is green. And if I take the other color, orange, I can probably remember that the complementary color of orange is blue. Green, blue. That reminds me of a color on the color wheel, not called green-blue, but blue-green. So I have just figured out on my own the complementary color of red-orange, an intermediate color, by thinking about what I already knew about the frenemies, those complementary pairs that we have been training ourselves to remember for the last 3 years at Metro North. So now your job is to paint some decorations onto each one of these 6 twists using the complementary color of the twist. Lucky you, though, you don't have to remember all of the complementary colors just by memory. You have your own color wheel inside your folder that you can get out and look at anytime you want. And another bit of good news is you do not have to make these complementary colors. All you have to do is find my super secret stash of complementary color paints that you will use when it's time to decorate these twists. Now, this basket contains just the intermediate complements. So if you're going to decorate red, you just need to go over to the supply table, get one of those egg cartons full of paints that we've been using up to this point, find the complementary color in there, green, and paint on your decorations. You only have to find my super secret stash for the intermediate colors, just to save you a little bit of time so that you don't have to remake all of those intermediate colors yourself. So, here's what you're going to need. This, of course. This, probably, unless you're just already a color genius, and you might be. You will need, this time, a large paper paint mat. You will need a paintbrush, and you will need to figure out which of these decoration colors you need to get first. If you're going to use red, if you're going to do red, orange, and yellow, you know those paints are at the supply table. You'll need to come and ask me where my super secret stash of intermediate colors is when you get ready to decorate the intermediate color twists. So pause, locate your big paint mat, a paintbrush, and then whatever color of paint you're going to start with. I have decided that I am going to start decorating red-violet. So when I looked at red-violet on my color wheel, I discovered that the intermediate color paint that I needed to find is this yellow-green right here. So I went to the secret stash, I got yellow-green, I have a brush, I have a paint mat. We actually want to put the paint mat under the twists like this. Just slide it under there, all the way up to the staples. We want to protect the black background from getting any paint on it. So in there. Now, this is going to touch this. Probably some of your other twists might be touching each other. So your job is to just be very careful and not get any paint on any of the other twists that shouldn't be on there. Now, when I say we're going to decorate this twist, really, you're going to do whatever you want to do. So I have my brush, I take my lid off. You can do stripes, you can do dots, you can do stripes and dots. It's really your decision. The important thing is that this twist, when you're done, is still red-violet with just a little bit of the yellow-green complementary color on it. So something like this. Like when we painted the twist in the first place, there will be places where the paint can't get because of the texture of the twists, like right here in these places. Do not force the paint. You'll just end up with big blobs. This really looks fine. Another thing to remember is that you're only going to see the front of this twist. Once we staple the other end down later on when we're finished, there is no need for you to put any paint under or on the back of this twist. You are only putting paint on the very front, the part that people will see. When you're finished with this color, return the paint to the super secret stash, put this brush into the water cup, get a brand new brush, bring back the color of paint that you need next. I'm just going to go right down the line and I'm going to do red next. So that means that I will be bringing back green. Like I said, the green can be found in our normal egg carton paint sets. You'll just go over to the supply table, grab one, and bring it back. I'm going to use that green. I'm going to decorate my red strip. This time I think I'll just use little splotches. When you're finished, return your brush, figure out what color is going to come next, find it, and repeat. You will repeat this for all 6 of the twists. I am not going to show you all 6 of my twists, but you're going to show me all 6 of your twists as soon as you get finished. Have fun decorating!